Now, let's get into the segment of who had the better verse. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk too much long on there or try and rehash everything I said in the initial review, but I'm gonna just give my quick thoughts and let you guys know where I stand at. Now, before I even started like doing like analyzing a lot of this and that and blah blah blah, like really analyzing the song more than I have before, I basically had it in mind that the verses that I really had memorized and really cared about was Eminem's, but that goes along with my point. It's all depending on your preference. Like me, I like a lot of lyrical type content. That's why I love. That's why Royce is one of my favorite rappers, or my favorite rapper, number one. M is one of my favorite rappers, and you know, Lupe Fiasco, people like that. Like I love lyrical content of that stature. So it's all due to your preference. Some people, you probably might have some people that say Jay killed it. But the way I'm gonna view it, while a lot of people see Eminem as taking the cake on this song, is that I know this might not be like the most accurate analogy, but this is something that I can kind of like come up with. It's whatever, but it's like J and M, like little kids. Just picture them as little kids, and like they have the same shoes. Don't matter what they are, they have the same shoes. And like everybody's mesmerized by it. They're like, oh, damn, y'all got the new kicks. You know when you trip when somebody got some new Jordans or some shit, like some shit that's like new and all that stuff. Like they got the new shoes on the block that no one else got. Everybody at school tripping out over like, oh, I love it. Da, da, da. Even though they have the same shoes, Eminem, his shoes light up. So it's going to bring more, eyes and more focus to his shoes because they light up. Even though they're the same exact shoes that Jay got, his light up. So basically, people are going to like look at that a little bit closer than they did Jay's. And that's literally what I'm talking about with their flow and like their contribution to the song. Is that Eminem, when he goes on the track, even though both of them are hitting on topics, talking about how the public and media perceives them and what they are, and they don't truly understand what type of person that they are and everything else, it's like M just brings a little bit more flair, more flavor to his. Like Jay, he just speaks real. He just talks to you like how I'm talking to you right now. No clever wordplay, no nothing. He just give quality lines, quality bars, and that's really all that Jay-Z does, and there's nothing wrong with that because like I said, he killed it. And then but M, he just does it with more flair. He just gives a little bit more wordplay and all that stuff. So people are just fascinated with that. Like I said, those are the flashing lights. They see it as just something that's really good, and so they like, okay, I like M's verse, M snap, M better, and all this stuff. And that's what people end up, getting out of that song, that collaboration, and thinking like, oh, M had the better verse, M killed it, blah, 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 blah. But both of them did great on it. It's just M, like I said, had a little bit more flavor and flair to his verses. And then also speaking on that, why, just personally, me, I feel like Eminem won. And I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but why I feel like Eminem won. Listening to all four verses, it's like an amazing team. I don't know why they ain't did another track, but M's verses to me were both equal in par. The first verse is just as good as the second verse. The second verse is just as good as the first verse. They didn't go down in quality, and to me, Jay-Z's verses, I feel like the first verse is I ain't gonna say way better, but the first verse is better than the second verse to me. And I'm not trying to just say that Jay-Z went down in quality, but I felt like I really felt the first verse better than I felt the second verse. And like I said, in analyzing like this for the review in this segment, it was like with Jay-Z, it hit me, like the first verse hit me when I actually listened to the lyrics and what he was saying in there. I'm like, damn, whew, kind of took my breath away a little bit. No homo, pause, no homo. But I felt like Jay-Z, his first verse was better than the second one, and Eminem's verses was on par with each other. No verse was better than the other. Both of them were equal. So I felt like Eminem did a little bit better, in my opinion. So that's just my verdict. You know, I felt like Eminem did have the better verse, but that's not taking shit away from Jay, because I felt like Jay, he killed it. Jay killed it, and it's a good quality song. It's a song that is just dope as fuck, that no one should just look past and just look at it like, oh, Eminem killed it. They both killed it. Just leave it at that. They both killed it. You might like M's versus better, but they both just did up the beat, show how that is supposed to be. And that is my verdict on that subject.